Hey, 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 what's up, squad? What's up, what's up, what's up? Back at it again with another live video. I'm super excited to talk about this topic, and this is going to really help you from your, let's say, fellow photography friends in the wedding industry. I mean, sure, we can say competitors, right? But at the end of the day, we just trying to do what we love to do and serve our clients, or if you call them couples, I call it both. So for business purposes, I say clients, but obviously, we serve in weddings. So either way, we know exactly what is going on. Okay, so today I'm going to be going over how to create a stress-free wedding timeline for your clients. All right. This is going to help you make sure that you have the best time frame to capture all the photos your client wants. That's super important because as photographers, we need to understand that it is not about us, which I will be teaching how, how to get what you want in terms of the images you want to take more of. But ultimately, this is not our wedding. We want to focus on what the client wants, and also if we have time to capture photos that we would like to produce and showcase when other brides are searching for us. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to just wait just a few moments, not too long, for people to join in. Now, if you are watching this as a replay, please comment below DC is better than Marvel, because it's true. I mean, you're going to see why I said that, because I am a DC fan. I'm a Flash fan, you know what I'm saying? But I will be honest, Marvel does take it home when it comes to the big screen, but DC, to me, takes it home when it comes to shows like, stuff on the CW and Netflix and so on and so forth. Yeah, it does look cheesy sometimes, but it's the writing that I like and the moral of the stories that they bring. Very moral, very moral. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right in. All right. And if you have it, which I'm gonna go back. So basically, comment DC is better than Marvel, and I'm going to private message you and make sure that you get this PDF file, so that way you can follow me in this video, or if you want to, you can just read it on your own time, however have you. So just comment below DC is better than Marvel, and I'll go ahead and send this PDF file to you, so that way you can have it at all times, just in case you need to refer back to it when you are booking weddings. Why? Because this video might get lost in the thread as we continue to build and communicate on this Facebook group. This video will get pushed down a lot, so I don't want you to lose this. So yeah, comment below, and I'll go ahead and get that to you. All right, so now let's hop into this slideshow and we'll get started. Now, the title: how to create a stress-free timeline for. Now, the reason why I wrote it like this is because originally I made this for brides that I actually will sit down and go over with them when they are inquiring about my service. This is huge, because now they see me as the expert rather than someone who is just whimming it on the go, just trying to sound like they know what they're talking about. This guide will actually put you in a situation where they see you as someone who is in an expert position mindset about this, and it's very detailed as we go through it. All right, so how to create a stress-free wedding timeline. All right, so again, this is laid out as if I'm presenting to brides, so you don't have to send this to them. You can make your own PDF file and word it how you want, or you can just keep this PDF file, and as you're talking to the client on the phone or chat, you can actually go through these slides without them seeing it, and then you just ask them questions and so on and so forth. You'll see it as I go through. So a little fun facts about me. I love smooth jazz. All right, I'm from Los Angeles, so 94.7 The Wave. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Number two, I love cheesecake. Come on now. If you love cheesecake all day, come on. And as you already know, I'm a huge DC fan. And please forgive me if I'm screaming loud. I get hyped up about this. I get hyped up. All right. So, quick story. So the reason why I created this guide is because I've seen a lot of brides stressing on their wedding. So you're going to see that as a wedding, crying. Sometimes you have bridezillas. Sometimes you have a lot of people and just making it worse on the day of the wedding. So being in that multiple times, shooting so many weddings, I actually was like, create a timeline that will significantly decrease this from happening again. And you will also meet wedding planners timelines that do not give you enough time to even capture the photos. So for example, the wedding planner may say, oh, you only have 15 groom. Realistically, that cannot work with us photographers, especially those of us who have a lot of equipment, lighting, all that stuff, right? And then you also have it to where the wedding planner will say, oh, can you guys set up for reception at this time? And it's not enough time. So basically, wedding planners do not understand most of the time as photographers to capture all that the bride wants and make sure that we deliver the expectation of, you know, the reason why we got hired. So this is going to help you be one step ahead of the game. So when you talk to the couple, most likely they haven't got their wedding timeline created from the wedding planner. So this gives you the opportunity to say, hey, let me create it and give it to your planner. So that way we on the same page and no one is lost. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, I got this pretty much laid out from getting ready all the way. Now, this timeline guide is pretty much made from American weddings. So this is going to differ from Indian weddings, multicultural weddings, not Jewish weddings. So take this as the foundation. And if you do have any of those other weddings that will not fit into this type of layout, then at least you have an idea of what to expect on minimum. But this primarily is dedicated towards Western weddings, you know, for, again, American weddings. That's the best way I can explain it. All right, so this timeline is going to go from getting ready all the way to the grand exit. All right, so for getting ready, for the time, we want to have the couple book. If they book only one photographer and let's say another photographer or another videographer, we want to make sure that we recommend them to start at the same time when getting ready. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Not to start at the same time when they are getting ready. Why? Because if they start at the same time, only booking one photographer and one, most likely they're going to miss moments that should have been captured. So what do we do about this? So instead of starting at the same time, you can do two things. One, you can tell them, hey, we can do that at the same time. I recommend that you hire a second shooter. So that way one is with the groom and one is with the bride. Boom. The problem is solved. Or if they are insisted on starting at the same time, just by booking you as the only photographer, then you should say, well, I cannot be in two places at once. So I'd rather start with the groom first, then come to you, or start with you first, then go to the groom. So you have to really paint that picture up front, because otherwise they will be chasing after you like, where's this shot? Where's that shot? And in reality, that's not doable with one photographer. All right. And then underneath that is detail shots. This is where you will explain to them that you would start with detail shots first. Or let's say you say something different, again, modified to your liking. So for me, I say I always start with detail shots first while you and your girls prep for makeup and hair. And also I let them know to have a box. Usually it's the box that the shoes came in. So tell the bride, hey, if you want us to capture details, please put your shoes in a box. your rings, your invitations, your just your everything, your necklaces, your accessories, all that you want us to capture details of. So while you're getting ready, I will be shooting those details. Okay, so that's important because oftentimes than not, details are something that brides want more than grooms. So you really want to make sure you emphasize on that. And they will thank you because on the day of the wedding, you don't want the bride searching for her items to give to you. So let them know during your consultation call that you want them to put everything in one spot or in one box or any other container. So that way when you show up, all you have to do is grab it and begin shooting. Okay? And the third thing is remove all clutter. So this is huge for us photographers, especially getting ready. When you walk in, you're going to see so many things on the floor: suitcases, Starbucks cups. You're going to see hangers all over the place. So what you want to do on the call is tell them like, hey, if you can, please remove all at one corner. So specifically, we're looking for a corner that is giving a lot of natural light through a window. So tell them at their hotel or suite or home, find a window in that room that you're getting ready and remove just that corner. Just tell them to make that corner clean because we're going to use that corner to get beautiful shots with the natural light coming into the room. So that is very important for video and for photography to make your picture stand out very well. So that's key. So as you can see here on this example shot, I took this, I think 2 years ago, and she's by a window and she is getting her details on, so her earrings she's putting on. So I took the shot right there. Behind her is a lot of clutter. All right, so candid shots. Now this is important. So explain to the client, hey, we're also going to be doing candid shots. So things like, you know, mingling with your girls, laughing, talking, you know, because this is a great way to really loosen up and know that the day is all about you and soon to be husband. Okay, so this is important to let them know that they will get candid shots as well. A lot of times couples will tell you like, oh, we just want to have fun, get us in the moment. So make sure that you are telling them that during the course of your details and, you know, having other things going on, you will sneak in some shots of candid moments. Okay, so that's really important. So for group and pair shots, this is where usually after the makeup and hair is finished, the girls would want poses with their robes or maybe poses with champagne bottles, stuff like that, confetti. So this is a time where you will tell them that you are going to be capturing these poses. So something that could be goofy, funny, silly, things like that. And you'll be amazed at the bride's response during your call because sometimes they don't think about that. So they'll be like, wow, like, we didn't even think about that. That's a good idea. I'm so glad that we hired you because I didn't think, you know, any of those things, right? So that's important. And then, of course, the wedding dress shot. Now, this goes with the detail shot. Usually the wedding dress shot will be, of course, with the details. But this specifically is talking about her getting in her wedding dress, right? So during this time, since I am a male, I will actually step out the room. And I know for you all, you know, I know that the women that are in the business as well, they probably step out too. So that's fine. So basically, we will step out of the room so you can change into your dress. Once you're halfway finished, let someone tell us so we can go ahead and take shots with you and your mom, having her button up your dress. Okay. So if they don't feel comfortable doing halfway, you can tell them they can get fully dressed and then have the mom or the grandma or the maid of honor fix her dress as a mock-up. So you'll pretty much have them pretend like they're buttoning up her dress. Okay. And same thing with necklaces, bracelets, veils, anything that the bride wants in of her girls helping her get dressed. Those are important to the bride. So make sure you mention that on the call. All right. So here we go for first looks. And this is important. Also, I'll put a little timestamp. So first look will be about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on. So having the first look has been frowned upon by a lot of couples, and they typically do not want to have a first look. They usually say, nope, he's going to see me down the altar, down the aisle, all that stuff. So that's okay, but still explain to them the benefits of having a first look. So if they do have a first look, number one, they are experiencing that together. and you're capturing that moment, and everything around that moment is so sacred, and it just makes it very special. And also let them know it's not going to ruin the moment of her walking down the aisle. It's still going to have an effect on him. Okay. And then also it saves so much time on the wedding timeline. So that way you can go ahead and get their couples portraits done right then and there. All right. So just have them think about that, because again, sometimes couples get so wind up in the fact that, all this, wedding stuff is happening, goo goo gaga, which is great, but also making sure that they have enough time to get everything they want. So again, if they don't want a first look, don't even worry about it. You're still good to go. If they do, it makes for good photos, and it also saves up a lot of time as well. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is pretty much example shots that I've done, just to give a quick, kind of layout of how it looks. Now, right here on number 8 on the slideshow, I actually gave somewhat of a good estimate time frame of each activity. So this is crucial because, again, not a lot of photographers are doing this, showing brides exactly how much time it would take for each of these things. So that way it validates you for being a photographer for them. It helps you really scale up there. So detail shots, 30 minutes, makeup shots, 10 minutes, on and on and on. Again, you can customize this to your own liking, however you please, but this is crucial because it gives them realistic time frames around everything. So total time needed will be 2 hours. Of course, if you add all these minutes up, it might be a little more than 2, but that's fine. Basically 2 hours is where it's at. And then on to the groom. So the groom is different from the ladies. Obviously, men are more chill, relaxed. They really don't care about much. So there's little, there's not much to really worry about here, right? But I still have things to talk about. So for details, grooms, we really focus on the bow tie, the tie, cufflinks, shoes, etc. Whatever they want, we'll just capture it once we arrive. Gift exchange, this is something that grooms do a lot as well. Usually it's cigars or liquor or different things like that. So you'll capture those moments. And then also candid shots with the groomsmen joking around, interacting with each other, playing pool, just kicking it, stuff like that, right? Super simple. And then for the best man, we always have to have a shot with the best man in the groom. So this example shot here was actually, that wasn't the place they were getting ready at. They actually got ready in a more darker room. And that's another thing as a photographer, don't be afraid to move people around. So if they're getting ready in a room that is not attractive, take them outside. That's what I did in this shot, and I just let them have it, let them joke around with each other, and that's how you do that. So that's what that best man helping groom shot. And then group and pair shots, same thing here. As you can see, these are 2 examples that I've shot in terms of the groomsmen. So it's more, I'm a dramatic shooter, so that's why you see it more dramatic and poppy. So that's my style. But I show this to bride and grooms, especially for the men, because we don't really think about this. But when they see this, they get excited. They'll, oh wow, they look good, so I know I'll look good. So same thing, group shots. Keep it nice, keep it simple, and they'll be happy. So same situation. It's going to take about 1.5 to 2 hours for the groomsmen, depending, sometimes way less. You can do it in 30 minutes sometimes. So again, I brought out the time frames, and I put here 1 hour. So just ignore it. I know I put 2 different time frames, but it pretty much fits in between. All right, so this one here is questions that you will want the bride and groom to ask themselves after the phone call, or right on the phone call if you want to. So for example, what times will they both get ready? Do you both want to have a first look? Are you both getting ready at the same location as the ceremony? If not, how far you will be getting ready from the ceremony? Will you both be on the same floor? And then of course the last one, would you be getting both hair and makeup done? And the real last one, would you both be handing out gifts? So these are good questions because this will give you a realistic time frame and how to go about it. So these are good questions that I always will try to ask brides and grooms on a phone call, so that way I'm prepared. All right, so for great tips, you have travel and parking. Now, again, as bride and groom, they sometimes don't think about the traveling and the parking that we as photographers run into. So for travel, we need to know how far the ceremony is from the venue that you're getting ready at. So sometimes brides will get ready at a suite, but the ceremony is 30 minutes away, and traffic, that's another. So you add that up, that's what, an hour away with traffic, right? So they need to understand, like, okay, if you want me to come to your hotel suite, it's going to take an hour for me to get back, so I can only stay for X amount of time. And then that way they can help you, either find a different route, or this way they can book you for more hours if they need to, or get a second shooter, so that way at least somebody is at the ceremony site just in case traffic is too bad from point A to point B. Okay, so ask your couple. The next one is parking. So if we need to travel to get to the ceremony, let us know if it's paid or free parking, valet, or whatever the case may be. This is crucial. If it is paid parking, you need to let them know that they have to reimburse you back for that payment. And if it's free, you need to know, okay, if it's free, then I really do need to get there early enough in order for me to, park and have a secure park. These are questions that you have to ask to make sure that you are on the same page, okay? All right, so the ceremony. So the photographer and videographer, or they had a second shooter with as well, will need at least an hour to prepare for a ceremony, 30 minutes to set up, and 30 minutes to capture detail shots. So again, some brides may not want detail shots, so that's fine, but this is important because this actually helps on your portfolio when you show brides in the future that you capture not only the essence of the getting readies and all that good stuff, but you also pay attention to the details. So as you see in this photo, I have a detail shot of, just a regular canvas of their name and welcome to their wedding. So this is something that they did not it because I know this is important. As you can see, the flowers, how they're laid out, the beautiful font, the attention to detail on the design. So I had to capture that. Okay. Proof of insurance. So this is something that is definitely on a different topic because I also teach business and photography, but that's not what I'm doing here. So proof of insurance is crucial. Please ask your bride and groom if their ceremony venue need proof of insurance, because if you go to a wedding without proof of insurance for some of these venues, they have the right to turn you away, and then now you owe the bride and groom they paid you to capture their wedding. So please, please, please keep that in mind. If they do require, I use State Farm, so you can call them up. It's super cheap. That's like $27-30 a month. Super cheap insurance to get through. So just keep that in mind. Please, please, please ask them if they need, or if you need proof of insurance. And also so this is important because every season is different. Time is it in the spring, summer, is it in the rainy season, is it in the snowy season? So that way it can prepare you if you need to bring jackets or an umbrella or a lens cover of some sort to keep your equipment from getting damaged. Okay. All right. So again, these are shots that I've done to show brides how an outdoor situation will look, shooting with the sun bright and all that good stuff, ceremony shots, all that good. So what I did under that is also I pretty much did timestamps for each. So typically in the Western, what's it called? Yeah, Western wedding, modern wedding, if you will. Usually it's a 30-minute ceremony. Okay. Sometimes it can vary. Like I know Catholic weddings is an hour long. Typically, Indian weddings, man, you can be there for 2 hours plus. So it all differentiates. Sorry, I'm trying to say the word. It's all different depending on the wedding you're shooting. Okay, so for this one, I just put 30 minutes, and this will pretty much go hand in hand with the ceremony decor. We'll take 30 minutes to capture that. After ceremony, typically is the family shots. So we actually do something before the family shot. So this is a little bonus for those who don't know. After the ceremony, Mr. and Mrs. Boom, boom, boom. And then as they're walking down the aisle, you can actually hold your hand out like you're doing a stop sign. And then tell them to kiss. So pretty much how I do it, I'll stick my hand out with all my fingers like spread out like I'm saying stop. And then I will pretty much pucker my to kiss. It's pretty goofy, but it works. And then they'll do a kiss with everybody behind them cheering. So pose, a popular shot that a lot of people aim for. So this talks about that there. You don't have to do it, especially if you're new. It's a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit intimidating because there's so much going on. So the fact that you're stopping, you gotta do it right. All right, so family formals usually is 15 to 20 minutes. Again, depending on how big the family members are, members the bride and groom wants for the shots. Okay, so we will definitely instruct them when they should have their. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me reread this. It seemed like one of these are together. Private shot with you both walking down the aisle and kiss, and we will instruct you when to do so. So, yeah, for some reason, these two things have been copy and pasted. I'm sorry about that. So basically what it is, family formals are honestly just your regular shots, like portrait shots. You'll do wide shots, tight shots of the family. And usually what you would do is say to the couple on the phone call is have the bride and groom write out exactly how many members. So that way you can pretty much make sure the time isn't going over too much. Because again, you still have to do the bridal party shots and the couple shots, aka romantic shots. So you want to keep that in mind. All right. And again, after the family formals are done, then you're going to do the bridal party shots, which will be 15 minutes. And this is where you're going to do some group shots, individual shots, goofy shots, all that good stuff. And then my personal favorites, the romantic shots, also known as the bride and groom shots. This one, I personally said I need 45 to 60 minutes of their time because I have lights, I have different poses. I really take my time with the bride and groom to make sure that they get amazing images. And sometimes it takes more than 30 minutes to complete. Now for you, you might think, oh, Tim, I just need 30 minutes, 15 is fine with me. That's totally fine. However, I will tell you, you will not be able to get the shots that you want. So if you do 60 minutes, do 30 minutes of what they want, and then the rest of the 30 minutes, you will do what you want. So how that looks. So after you finish capturing the photos they want you to take, then go up to them, say, hey, we got about 30. I have some cool ideas that I believe can work, that will look awesome. Would you guys be okay with that? And they'll be like, oh yeah, like, of course, like, you're awesome, you hooked us up, whatever you got, we trust you. Now you have 30 minutes to do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? So that's super, super cool to have that extra time with them and experimenting, because they're not expecting much from it. All they know is they have the images that they want. Okay, now if something happens to where you want, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get upset. You have more weddings because guess what? They're going to refer you to more couples. Okay. All right. So these are a few examples of things that of shots that I show couples when I emphasize why I need so much time. So as you can see, the veil lifted, some of the veil is flying. You can see the posing, the way her head is turned. You can see on the left side the way her head is turned, and on the right side how his fingers under the chin. These seem simple, but there's many shots and then many repositionings that you have to do. You have to hold the veil a certain way. The wind can blow it a different way. Why so much time is so crucial, so that way you can get those amazing shots. All right, so we're almost done, guys. Thank you for hanging with me, for those who are hanging with me. All right, and unfortunately, if you are asking questions at this time, I can't see it because the way I'm sharing my screen is not allowing me to see the comment section. So after this video, after I finish the slideshow, I will look and see if anybody left any comments, if there are any. Okay. All right, so the reception. Now, this one, I would say this is important. Tell the couple that you will need at least 15 to 30 minutes aside so you can pretty much, oh, this is for them, I'm sorry. So what I experienced is that some couples want time with each other before the grand entrance. So you should tell them like, hey, think about setting about 15 to 30 minutes aside so you both can have that time together, reflect, and just really spend those minutes together and for the grand entrance. This is really, really helpful because bride and grooms will not think about this. And if you mention this to them, again, they're going to look at you like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so happy we booked you because you're offering so much to us and things to think about that we have not thought about. This is amazing. Okay. And then what's cool is that while they're doing that for 15 to 30 minutes, now you have time to set up for the reception. Okay, so whatever you have, you got time to set up, take some detail shots real quick, all that good stuff. So while they're in there for 15 to 30 minutes, you're out there shooting and setting up equipment. All right, here we go. So for grand entrance, super simple. The DJ will begin announcing the bridal party either in pairs and solos. You don't have to, I mean, you can ask them this. Sometimes it is important, but I just put this in there again because sometimes they may not think about this. So there you go. First dances, this is something that you have to ask. Either are they going to do first dance before dinner or after dinner, or they're going to go straight into it. You know what I'm saying? So you just ask them that, because sometimes if they go straight into it from the grand entrance, it can catch you off guard and you can miss those sudden moments. But if they do it after dinner, then you'll be able to be ready to go in the head of the game. All right. And for dinner, again, let them know that you are to be fed once they start eating. Okay. So I tell them personally, if you have your guests eat before us, this will pretty much lead us in a shorter time to eat and get ready for your next event at the reception. So I always say, if possible, please try to eat first, because if you don't, then it's a chance that you might not eat at all. Or if you do, you're like super panicking eating, and you don't want to panic eat. All right. So that's important. All right, here we go. So for speeches, this is another crucial one. Please let the bride and groom know to keep it at a minimum of 4 people, because usually during this, you got people who got secrets that they shouldn't be telling, and sometimes the groom's brother, that's not the best man, may be drunk and tell all these secrets that the groom doesn't want everybody to know. So the thing is, I always say people during speeches. So that's the maid of honor, best man, both moms, and both dads. So that's not technically 4 people, but basically you get what I mean. So this is explain to them. The reason why is because if you have an open mic reception, it can go on for hours, especially if you have over 200 people. So they'll most likely be like, oh, no, we're not doing that. So we'll keep it at a minimum. Okay. So underneath that, you got cake cutting. So if you're shooting a wedding for the first time, usually if the planner knows or the caterer knows, but I would say if you are in a position where they're just looking at you to help them, honestly, just put them both together, shoulder to shoulder, have her hold the cutting knife, have him put his hand over her hand, and have them cut the cake at the same time. Super simple to do, not hard at all. All right. And then also too, do a cake smash. Cake smashes are fun and cute, whatever the case. All right. Bouquet toss, don't throw it too hard. Simple. Just run up to her during the reception. Remember, don't throw it too hard. When we at the wedding, just don't throw it too hard at the reception. Super simple. Garter toss, guys, tell the fellas, don't be stiff. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to twerk a little bit. Twerker, you know what I'm saying? So it's okay to do that. Have fun. Let the guys know. And then what my personal favorite is, after the garter toss is done, what you want to do is a huge group photo, right? So what this does is make for a great picture. And then also the DJ can announce that the dance floor is open. And since everybody's already in the middle of the dance floor, boom. Now, again, I would not do this yet as a beginner, because you do need lighting for this. If not, somebody's going to be either super, it's going to be bad. And trust me, when you have everybody do a group shot like that, everybody's going to ask, where's that shot? Where's that group shot at? And yeah, so if you feel like you're not ready yet to do that, then the best bet is to not do it at all and just go straight to the exit, okay? Unless you come up with a different method, please let me know. I'll update this PDF guide as well. All right, so for the grand exit, you got sparkler, limo exit, LED balloons, those light sticks, and other things that bride and grooms will have to pretty much resort to. A lot of venues do not allow sparklers anymore, so you'll start to see less and less of that. and that sucks because sparkler exits are super cool, and you'll have fun with those. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll just give them the options that you know, and then let them decide. All right, so for the bonus tips, and this section is something that I feel brides will feel that you are extremely valuable. Is number one, just let them know, hey, you should live stream your wedding. You see that we have COVID going on, all this crazy stuff going on. Suggest to them live streaming where they could simply have a friend get a tripod, put his phone on, and go to Facebook Live. Boom, you're done, right? So you can do that, or you can offer it as a service if you do video as well. So I know one person, shout out to Trenton. He's in this group, super awesome videographer. If you guys see him in this group, you know, any video questions that you have, he's the guy. And I know I didn't tell him this, but we're going to interview him one day just to get, so you guys can see the other opportunities of shooting video as well as photography at the same time, which we call it hybrid shooting. So that's something coming in the works. All right. So anyway, you can do that. Also tell them the Pinterest board. As you all know, Pinterest boards are super valuable. So please let them know to pin images so you know exactly what they want in their photos. Wedding hashtags, let them know to think about a hashtag so that way when you upload these images on Instagram, you can hashtag it so that way all the guests can see your images too. And then guess what? They're going to follow you on Instagram, and then soon enough, you're going to start getting inquiries because of that one dedicated hashtag, okay? And then lastly, let them know to have an unplugged wedding. And basically what an unplugged wedding is, during the ceremony, everybody will have their electronics up, no pocket. Everybody will be focused on the moment, okay? And also the reason why this is usually requested is because, you know, I see a lot of people complain that they receive their photos and there's a bunch of phones in the shot from other guests, you know, being very rude about it. So definitely have that. For me, I haven't really had an issue with it. I know how to work my way around it. But as a new photographer, it might not be that simple. So just let them know to have an unplugged ceremony. And that's it. So basically, that's all that goes into it in terms of how I conduct this timeline for my couples. So when I get on the phone call, I go through this with them. So that way on the wedding day, everything is stress-free. Everything is beautiful. They get what they want. They know what to expect. You already know what to do. Beautiful. So with that being said, I want those who are interested, please, if you want a copy of this PDF, please leave a comment below. DC is better than Marvel. If you're a Marvel fan, fine. Put Marvel is better than DC. All right, you're happy? Put that. Which one you put, I will go ahead and PM you so I can send over this PDF timeline guide to you as soon as possible. Okay? Please do that because this here has helped me a lot and it really impressed brides. And this will get you ahead of the game because not a lot of photographers are doing this. They're doing the basic stuff, but over here in this group, we turn up. We do over and beyond. You know what I'm saying? That's how we work. All right, y'all. So with that being said, let me check and see if I have any comments on here before I close out. All right, cool. So nope, no comments, no problem. All right. So again, to the replay viewers, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. Again, leave a comment below saying DC is better than Marvel or Marvel is better than DC, and I will go ahead and send you over this PDF file so that way you always have access to this and always be prepared. All right, you guys. So with that being said, I'm signing out. Until then, y'all stay safe and let's bring in these weddings. Let's